It's my last full day at home. I still haven't packed. So I leave in 1 week. I'm still waiting on a package to arrive, which has clothes that I want to bring that hasn't arrived. And I'm like, if that doesn't come, that's it. I'm not going.
That's it, I'm not going.
Do you only like banking on those outfits? Such a first world problem, but you know what I mean. I leave next Tuesday. Slightly terrified. I still don't have anywhere to stay and I don't have a job. I think I have a lead for somewhere to stay in March, but I need somewhere to sublease in January and Feb. So I'm hoping someone pulls through, or else I just need to try and like get an Airbnb or something. And then, yeah, just saying my goodbyes. My family's coming over tomorrow, then my friends on Friday, and then I'm just kind of like chilling for the weekend. And then that's it. I leave. Exciting times. It's getting real. My poor mom, I was just leaving the house there and I could see her getting like teary-eyed. I was like, are you crying? And she was like, no. Don't fucking set me off now. I don't feel like I'm sad though, because I think it won't hit me till I'm either gone like a week and then I'm not going to be home. But no, it'll probably hit me on Monday. But I just wanted to chat a bit for a second about a book that I'm reading. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna West. And in this morning's chapter, I'm only on like chapter 2, but she was talking about self-sabotage. Made a reel about self-sabotage a couple of weeks ago, because at the end of the day, when we are doing things or behaviours that are to our detriment, it's because we're so conditioned to be in what's familiar and what's comfortable, even if we know the thing that we're doing is actually the thing that's giving us pain in the first place. For example, in like over the past few years, like as I've struggled with disordered eating and try to unlearn that behaviour as a way of self-soothing when I'm feeling overwhelmed, like when I started to understand what was happening in my body and how my nervous system was responding to something in my environment that I was finding overwhelming, food was often something that I would turn to numb out that uncomfortable feeling. And now that I have that awareness, I'm like, okay, great, there are other things that I can do to regulate my nervous system and bring myself back into balance. Like I'll just have a list of things that I'll look at on my notes on my phone, see which one resonates with me, and then I'll choose to do that. And if that doesn't work, I'll go to something else on the list. But that looks like either somatic shaking, putting on music that I used to love as like a child or a teenager, like 2010s hits or something like that, and literally just like jump around my room, bop around my room. You doing that, you are enabling your body to, if you're in a state of hyper arousal, you're enabling your body to get rid of that energy, like that anxiousness, restlessness energy. By jumping around your room, you're able to release that energy, and then that allows your body to move back up towards what's called ventral vagal. And I always like to think of it as like ventral vibing. It's where you want to be. It's where you feel like happy and connected. But if you've gone past the state of jumping around is going to help you, and like you're feeling very dissociated and like numbed out, and you have really no energy to get up and even do that, even doing something really small, just like lying on your bed, like turn your phone off, just like throw it on the other side of the room, just lying in your bed, just like noticing your breath and coming back to your breath, and just doing like a couple of rounds of box breathing. So inhaling for 4, holding for 4, 5, 6, however long feels comfortable for you, and just exhaling longer than you inhaled for. Because when we're exhaling, we are signaling to the body that we don't need to be taking these like short inhales of breath, because we're not needing to mobilize our lungs to go run away or fight off the flea that we're encountering. By exhaling more, you are switching off the ventral brake, and you're able to bring your body back into a state of balance. Over the course of doing that breath work for a few minutes, just like noticing if you can feel any emotions in your body, if you can name them. This was a really hard thing for me to do, and honestly it still is. Like I always used to joke with my therapist, and she'd be like, now do a body scan and notice what you can feel, and I'd be like, Cara, I am dead from the neck down. Like I don't feel anything. Like the lights are on but nobody is home. But over time and through practice, like I am able to start to notice some sensations, and able to realize like, oh, is that anger? Is it like grief? Is it sadness? And the wheel of emotion as well is a great thing. I actually had it like as a screensaver on my phone for a little while. And then if I was feeling a certain type of way, but I wasn't really like able to label it, which obviously we're not intellectualizing our emotions, but sometimes it's helpful to know like, what is it that I'm feeling, like, and put a label on it. And the wheel of emotions was great because I would just like hold down, like on the new iPhone update, you can like hold it down and then like swipe over to change your wallpaper. So it was just really handy for me to like have access to it there. Going back to what I was saying about the self-sabotage, behaving in a way like binge eating or restricting your food or like sabotaging any progress that you've made trying to be healthy. Your body is doing that because you have wired pathways in your brain to habitually act in that way. But that does not mean that you cannot rewire or change those behavioral patterns. You just need to notice what are the cues that trigger that behavior. How can I insert new cues to trigger a new, more healthy, more adaptive way to soothe myself when I'm getting overwhelmed. So it can feel really tough, and especially when it's you that's causing the pain in your life. It's like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I stop doing this? I understand that better than anybody, but I think as soon as you start switching the psychological narrative that you have in your head that you're stuck in this behavior, that is what kept me stuck for so many years. And it's only been in like the last kind of 2 years that I've started to notice that narrative in my head and start to be able to challenge that and change that. Is it completely gone? No, I've behaved this way for like 11 years. Like, I'm not going to be able to just flip a switch and change overnight. Maybe you can, everybody's different, but it's definitely taken me a little bit of time. But at least now when I hear myself saying, I have tried so many times to use her metaphor, climb this mountain and to overcome bulimia and to overcome body image issues, I've tried and failed more times than I could possibly count, and telling myself that I'm always going to be stuck in this behavioral pattern and I'm always going to be like this and I'm never going to be free from like binge eating or restricting my food. I'm never going to reach a body image where I'm comfortable. That is what I would play in my head all the time. And if that is what I'm believing, that is what I'm creating into my reality. Even just like beginning to challenge a little bit that narrative when you notice it and begin to journal. Like, journaling is such a great activity in terms of understanding those narratives, but so much of the work starts with regulating your body first. You will not be able to do a top-down exercise using your brain to journal when you're dysregulated, because your body is offline at that point. Like, your body doesn't feel safe and it's gone down at the autonomic ladder. Where you're in ventral and you're vibing, you're at the top of the autonomic ladder. When you are getting into hyperarousal, when you're mobilized to go into your fight, flight, freeze, kind of like freeze, that's like getting into dorsal. But I feel like this is really confusing. I need to like actually sit down and like do a proper episode of like nervous system 101 basics, or like a cheat sheet to like just give you the information that I have. I'm probably going to create like a free resource and just like link it somewhere so you can actually visualize what it is that I'm talking about, because I've accumulated all this over the years through my own fascination with being like, what the fuck is wrong with my brain? Like, why can't I just stop acting in this way? Like, it's causing me so much grief. And understanding the body has been literally like the missing key for me. So that's what I'm yapping about. I am gonna go finish my jobs and head to Lahinch. It's miserable out, but it's not miserable out. It's fine. I'm putting a positive frame on it. But I was gonna go for a swim, but I was just like, oh, I can't be arsed. It's very wet. So I'm just gonna get a flat white instead, and I'll bring you with me. Really want to try this pastry thing. I just went into Hugo's, which if you're visiting Clare, if you're from Clare, you'll know it, but if you're visiting Clare and you're in Lahinch, it has such nice pastries and coffee. But I went in and I'm usually a pastel de nata girl, and I hate ordering something new in case I don't like it, and then the thing that I would usually get, then I just think about that all day. So usually I get a pastel de nata, which, if you don't like these, what is wrong with you? I'm actually not a big custard person, but these, I'm a big like saucy person, so these are good. I know that's not sauce, but like, if you get what I mean, you'll know what I mean. But anyways, I walked in and these were on the counter, and I was like, ooh, what are those? And he said that the chef or baker only makes them once every couple of months, and they're his favorite. I think it was called a Canal de Bordeaux. I don't know, I could have just completely misinterpreted that, but I said I'd get this and I'd try it, and if I don't like it, then at least I can repurpose one of the pastel natas I bought for my parents and just eat it myself later. But they also gave me caramel to go with it, and I'm like, I don't know how this is meant to come out. Is it a dipping situation? Or maybe I'll just lob it in the bottom and just give it a twist. Oh, that looks pretty good. Also, it's windy as fuck. Yep. Okay, that's pretty good. The flavors are melting on my tongue. Yum. The caramel kind of makes it. It's kind of hard to get out the bottom though. Yum. Also, on my way back here, do you know when you bump into someone, like obviously living in a small town, do you know if you like see someone you haven't seen in ages, that's like an old flame, and your stomach literally like drops into the pit of your arse and you're just like, ugh! That just happened. But thankfully he didn't see me, I just saw him. But that's fun. Hopefully I find my husband in America. 10 out of 10. It is the claw. It is my last night at home. I'm going out with all my friends, saying goodbye. I think now that like I'm actually seeing people for the last time, it's starting to hit me, which is crazy. But I sorted accommodation today for January, so that's such a relief. At least I have somewhere to live when I get there. I go to Australia on Tuesday, spending Christmas with the gals. So I'm actually buzzing now. At least accommodation for Jan is sorted. Next steps is full-time accommodation, job, and actually get there. So I can't wait.
Here's Daddy Duck now working his magic.
You'll never see me again.
Mushrooms and tomatoes and stuff.
Talking my language.
Okay.
Breakfast a la dad. I really wish I packed earlier.
Guess what?
What?
Your parents changed that. Okay, wishing it like, but it's not done. Anything I can do to assist?
$1 million.
I don't think you'd be the type of person that would greatly worth $1 million.
I feel like I would benefit very much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you take it?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Well, what would you do?
With $1 million?
Yeah, would you not feel worthless?
No, what would you do?
Holding and touring.
Lads, the town is mental. I'm here in Tesco. Mother of God! That's what I get for trying to leave that on the dashboard. Oh, there's a spot. Hold on. I am in town. I literally should be packing. I keep reminding myself that I'm not going on holiday, like I'm moving. I need to pack up my room as if I'm leaving forever because it's like a guest room. So I need to like put everything away. And I'm like, it's Saturday, I need to be packed. I'm leaving on like Monday night. And I'm like, oh, do you know what I should do instead? I should go and get my watch fixed that hasn't worked in about 3 years. Because that's a priority. So that's what I'm doing. Help. I don't have many skills in life, but parallel parking and reversing are 2 of those skills. Come on with me. This is what we're dealing with. It is pissing rain. No. So they couldn't fix my watch. She was like, oh yeah, that's definitely not going to be done until January. And I was like, I need it now, but I can just leave it the way it is. And it's broken. Wasn't a complete waste of time because I managed to knock out a couple of Christmas presents. So not all has failed. Now I need to run to Limerick, go visit my nana, get my nails done. It's a hard life. Yum. The packing is being paused for a wine break. I know, well don't tell her because she'll probably be really sad. My mom made a banner in the kitchen. Dyslexia runs in the family. My brother moved to Australia, I made a banner for him and I spelled Australia wrong. Not my finest moment, but my mom's after making me one in the kitchen. She's after spelling San Diego wrong. Some cards from my family before I leave. They're so cute. And my first American $50. I feel like it's like Monopoly money. No, stop, I'm actually gonna cry. You'll see many stars in the sky no matter where you are, will always be with you. It's actually really hitting me that I'm leaving now. I think this is the hardest part about moving away. It's like so exciting, but it's also so bittersweet. Like you don't know when you're gonna see people again. I am sat in my very messy, you can't even see, very messy room, and I have just had not the best day. I am starting to get a bit overwhelmed about the fact that I'm going on holidays for a couple of weeks first, and I'm trying to get excited, but the mind goblins that operate in my brain around like body image and not feeling comfortable in my body and not like comparing myself to other people is slightly taking over the excitement that I should feel around going on this holiday. The other thing is that I find when I scroll on Instagram and I just like consume social media, I get so overwhelmed when I see other people in my field like doing really well, executing all of these ideas and building all of these businesses that are helping people, and I really want to do the same, but I just find myself stuck on my phone just like scrolling and not being able to like move or do anything, and then I've just like wasted the day. And then the shame that comes with that can sometimes overwhelm me, and then all of that scrolling and shame and overwhelming feelings can sometimes lead to binging to try and self-soothe, and it's just a behavior that I have picked up over the years, and that's kind of what happened today, which has put me in a bit of a kind of downward mood. But what I'm doing to get myself out of that is having some compassion, because that's really what I would be the last thing that I would have for myself if I've just had like an episode. And obviously that there's something happening for me that feels overwhelming, which is why I'm doing it. So trying to have compassion for myself. What I've done is I've just sat on the edge of my bed and I have done a couple of cycles of breath. So in for 6, hold for 4, and then out for 8, trying to get you to regulate yourself and to cue safety. And often food is an emotional crutch. It feels good, there's lots of dopamine associated with it. It just distracts you from whatever emotion you're going through. So the cue for safety coupled with the dopamine and habitual behaviors is what ends up forming this maladaptive behavioral habit, which is binge eating, and in my case bulimia. In the past, have, after going through like an episode of binge eating, tried to purge my food through either self-induced vomiting or excessive exercise usually, or fasting. Don't do that if you're watching this. And like I try not to talk about that because I don't want to give people ideas, but if you're going to do it, you're going to do it anyways. But it just never works. Like, when in the past has it worked for you? You're still in the same position. It does not work. Try somatic shaking, try some breath work. There's so many free guided ways to do this online. Oh, the state of my room. Don't look at her. But yeah, you're not alone. Yeah, I just wanted to share this little moment because I feel like this video is going to be like me vlogging and like going on holidays, and it's all exciting when this is actually the reality of what's also going on. So hopefully I have the lady balls to leave this in. But yeah, it's just hard and annoying, like at myself all the time. And then it like impacts my mood and who I'm around, and then I feel guilty that I'm not being fun to be around, and it's just a constant cycle. And I know other people feel like this, but I just don't really see many people talking about it enough. So that's why I'm oversharing on the internet. Yeah, I would love to know if any of this like resonates with anyone. I'm sure these videos mightn't find the right people for a while until the algorithm does its thing, but if they do help, let me know in the comments. Or if you don't want to comment publicly, like DM me. I would really love to know. It's very difficult to talk about these things online, and I think if I knew other people were taking some comfort in knowing that like others are going through it, then it would kind of spur me on a little bit to keep going. Yeah, tomorrow's a new day. Just because I have, done this today doesn't mean that it has to continue into tomorrow. So I'm gonna get up, move my body, create some gentle movement to get me out of like this shutdown state. Hopefully have a good rest of my evening. I don't know where to start. I'm obsessed. They're literally so perfect. I was like, I think I still notice a slight slant here, which to be honest, I kind of do, but I said it and then she tweaked it and I could still see it, and I was just like, I'm being so picky. Like, they're literally so straight and so wide. I'm so happy with them. So unnecessary for me to do that unemployed before I emigrate and like eat into my savings. I have wanted to do that for ages. It just bothered me. Like, I paid so much money for Invisalign and it was just like the final touch. I just got a bit of composite bonding on the edges of like these 3 teeth because my bite like wore them down. Tee! So excited. A random place to keep the suitcase. I like my suitcase. The Christmas decorations are up. Mum goes ham on the Christmas decorations, and they're all so cute. Like, she's hand painted all of these. Like, she bought these and then she just hand painted them all. She's so talented. I also just would not have the patience to hand paint something like that, but so cute. Tree is my fave. This is what we're working with. I have less than 48 hours to pack. Ooh. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get everything into this one bag, but I'm gonna send my bag and have my other crap moved over there. I don't know why I always do this. It's fine. I'm literally just gonna put on a playlist.
Back in that bag again. Whoa.
This is my grad dress. It's giving granny, but it's also giving vintage, I thought. It's the dress for my 18th. The tan marks. Yeah, there's a good chance that was never washed 10 years ago, but it lives on.
Till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa. Oh, say less. I'm back in that bag again.
We are finally packed. All my shit is in these boxes. Like, everything else is emptied. Room is empty, like, so that's it. But I won't miss this weather. To the airport. Only 15 minutes behind schedule. The bag is underweight. I am not.